And they've done some very exciting work engaging their board on a conversation and strategy around disruptive technology. And they've also engaged them actually physically in a fair where they can come and look and experience some of the exciting new initiatives that are happening through the WorldBank Group. So Anastasia, if I could pass the mic to you, and if you could let us know the work that you've done, and I'd be happy to move through the slides as you're ready to move through your conversation.
Thank you so much, Susan. And thank you for having me. Thank you everybody for joining us today. So let me start by introducing my team. We operate as a very lean team. We have 3 people working on the disruptive technology agenda full-time. Our team is led by a senior advisor to the president. We were formed last January, so we're almost 1 year old. In a year, we articulated and presented to our board of governors a WorldBank group-wide strategy on disruptive tech. And this strategy was endorsed by the board in October. So now we're moving towards the implementation stage. And today I want to share with you our journey to engage governing bodies and make it happen. So in October 2017, the WorldBank Group held our first Disruptive Tech for Development Forum. And select internal teams that have been working with technology has been invited to present at a big internal event that was attended by our president and the senior management. The event was a huge success, but it also highlighted that a great number of innovative solutions being developed in silos across the institution. So in January, our team was formed to explore the appetite for this line of work at the bank and also see if there is a need to have some structure around it. And based on that, formulate and present our value proposition on disruptive tech to the management team at the group business review. And group business reviews are held to discuss and align on strategic direction and corporate priorities. So it was about 2 months away in March. We temporarily expanded our very small team. We added 7 more people from across the WorldBank Group to join. Their directors approved them spending a fraction of their time monthly on the DT agenda, and I think it's a good model that's been working well for us. We also hired a consulting firm to assist with the process, and together we facilitated workshops with senior management and disruptive tech champions at the same time. In the same room. So during the workshops, we looked at relevant tech trends, different development outcomes and different scenarios of the future. And together we were thinking through the World Bank's role in the now new tech-enabled economy. After 2 months of this work, we presented our value proposition at the GBR. And Susan, if you can please switch to the next slide. So we proposed a forward-looking aspirational value proposition, which was focusing on uncertainty, risks, and opportunities of exponential tech trends, and how the WorldBank Group can serve as a trusted advisor to our clients and our partners in supporting the implementation of new and sustainable pathways to development that are tech-enabled. So to make this aspirational value proposition work in our institution, for every framework where all we need a framework where all words start with the same letter. So we picked letter B and introduced the BBB framework. So to realize its aspirations, the World Bank Group needs to build foundational blocks for sustainable tech-led economies, boost capacity of institutions, firms, and people to leverage tech-led disruption, and broker disruptive tech solutions, data, and partnership to solve development challenges. So our management team liked the value proposition and asked us to move forward. So we got into our next phase, which was socializing. Can we please move to the next slide? In a couple of months, we met with leadership teams in each unit and region across the World Bank Group to present the agenda, and we solicited their feedback. We documented it, all of it, all the feedback we received, and tried to address as many points as possible when reiterating, because for our engagement, both on the internally on the WorldBank Group champions and the senior management side, and with our governors. It was a priority for us to be transparent about the process and responsive to any suggestions and comments in a very rapid manner. So iterate as we go. In parallel, we launched the Disruptive Technology Network, a community of internal disruptive tech subject matter experts from across all units at the bank, as well as from IFC and MIGA. And to date, we have about 100 members there. The network meets monthly, and I can elaborate on it later if there is interest in it. So after socializing, the articulating the strategy part started. And for our board, it was very important to get that we have a demand-driven and very inclusive strategy. So yet again, we temporarily expanded our team to about 10 people with skills and experiences relevant to strategy formulating. And our main priorities for the strategy was not only to be inclusive, but also it has to be grounded and practical. So we went back to all the leadership teams that we met with earlier with a request to prepare 3 pages, 4 pages on how their units are thinking about disruptive tech in the context of their work. We asked about current activities, short-term, medium-term goals, constraints, and asks to the board. And we ended up with around 150 pages combined of fascinating and very diverse action plans from across each and every unit. And our 10-people core team analyzed it and used this information as a basis for the strategy paper. And then we had a paper draft put up. Well, as soon as we had the paper draft ready, we put this document online in open access and asked all the members in the Disruptive Tech Network, so about 100 people, to comment on it, edit it, and question our statements. And we were cheering for people to give us as much feedback as possible. In 2 weeks, we got around 300 comments on the document. And I personally take pride in the fact that we responded to each and every single one of them. Then the final draft also went through our usual review channels as well. So to give you a snapshot of our strategy, here's the set of WorldBank Group corporate priorities around disruptive tech. Thank you. Based on the Build, Boost, and Broker framework. So for Build, we were focusing on supporting the foundational elements of the digital economy, expanding connectivity. For Boost, it's about supporting the development of skills and capabilities, as well as efficient and transparent government services. For Broker, we will focus on accelerating existing priorities. So universal financial access, universal health coverage, and more, as you can see. There are also 2 priorities that cut across all 3 pillars, which are including tech-enabled disruption in country diagnostics, what we call a disruptive tech lens, and supporting the formulation of agile regulations for the new economy that is coming. Can we move to the next slide, please? Thank you. When talking about upgrading our internal capabilities to, again, respond to this tech-enabled economy, we focused on coordination, agility, and skill mix. As you can see, specifically, I will just talk about the coordination part that had been managed by our team. So our functions were to ensure consistency among unit level approaches, coordinate global tech partnerships, position in global fora, and as well as supporting cross-cutting tech support teams that are our in-house experts and facilitators in AI, blockchain, and geospatial data, and also to manage our disruptive tech network. So that is it on the strategy part. It was presented and endorsed by our Board of Governors at the annual meetings in Bali. As a follow-up, we were asked to move to implementing the strategy. We'll be giving another update to our Board of Governors on this during the spring meeting. And another interesting initiative that I want to mention briefly that allowed us to engage with our governing bodies was the Innovation Fair. as we were looking for a way to provide a tangible way for ministers and other government officials to take innovative ideas and projects back to their countries, we thought of an interesting solution, which was innovation fair. So during the annual meetings in Bali, 29 private companies in fintech and healthcare sectors participated in a fair where they each had a trade show booth and showcased their products. And WorldBank Group and IMF senior management, as well as the government officials, visited our fair and engaged with the participants. We got a very positive response from our management and from the government officials for this activity. And we plan to have something similar for the spring meetings 2019 in DC. And I think to close, I want to give very quick summary of the key points I think that were helpful for us while engaging with our with our board of governors. So the first one is we aimed for a lean team that operates on a project-by-project basis. Second one, we engaged with WorldBank Group management team and disruptive tech champions in parallel. We were transparent about the process and responsive to any feedback to show that it's worth people's time to make comments and edits as their thoughts will be reflected in the final product. And we provided and are providing updates to our board of governors on a regular basis, as you can see one of the earlier slides. And while having been quite effective, used together, each individual phase or project initiatives that I briefly touched upon can help to engage with governing bodies as the representative of demand and socializing the concept. So quantifying the demand, I would say. So I think that would be all from my side. Thank you so much.